Alright, here's the formula for these types of videos. I say a celebrity's name, you, a person who's out of touch with what's going on in the mainstream world, goes who, I explain who they are, and then you still comment, who's blank, in the comments section like a mouth breather instead of typing it about 6 inches higher. So let's motor through this. Halsey, she's a pop singer. I did a musical autopsy about her in January of 2016 when she was slightly less famous. Summer that same year, she featured on the Chainsmokers' Closer. You know, the song about fucking in a Range Rover and stealing mattresses or something. It was number 1 for 12 weeks, 3 months basically, and was in the top 10 for 32 weeks, roughly 8 months. It's still in the top 40. If you somehow didn't even hear it accidentally, you're either deaf or a Mormon. Last week, she had the number 1 selling album in the United States. This week, it's number 7. She was also number 1 on the Artist 100, a Billboard chart that combines music sales, airplay, streams, and social media activity to determine who the most popular artist in the US is week to week. So, if you type in, who's Halsey? Congrats, your listening comprehension skills are about as poor as they get. But, you know who would probably be really happy that you don't know Halsey's name? Halsey. Recently, she claimed that there's a sexist double standard, TM, in the music business when it comes to counterculture credibility. That's a thing people want. She had this to say. Kendrick Lamar has done a Maroon 5 feature, a Taylor Swift feature, and a Sia feature, which is more pop features than I've done. No one's calling him a pop star, but I'm being called one, even though I'm inherently an alternative artist. I don't know if it's a male thing. I don't know if it's an urban thing. I don't know what it is. Well, I'll tell you. It's a record sales thing. Okay, so I know this is 2017 and we can all just identify as whatever we want now. I'm the fucking king of the internet, by the way, and you can all kiss my cock ring. But Kendrick Lamar is a rapper, not a pop singer. And Halsey is not an alternative artist. Just because you go to fucking Supercuts and say, give me the Ellen Ripley Alien 3 edition, that doesn't make you an alternative artist. You are alternative when you are the alternative to mainstream music. And she isn't. Her music is mainstream, and has been for some time. New Americana was number 60 on Billboard. It was at one point the 60th most popular song in the United States. So, one would hope she'd make an apples to apples or, I don't know, fucking plantains to plantains comparison. Apples are too mainstream, I'm sure. Which she does try. The lengths that Lady Gaga has to go to maintain her cred as an artist of the counterculture are insane. If she does anything that's even slightly too pop, people are going to be like, she's sold out. She's a pop artist. Kendrick Lamar can get on a Taylor Swift song and no one calls him a pop star, but Lady Gaga has to wear raw meat. I don't know if you smoked too much of that legal marijuana you were talking about in New Americana, but did you just completely wipe Lady Gaga's The Fame out of your fucking head? Just Dance, her very first single, was number 1, and as pop gets, no fucking question. Love Game, Paparazzi, Poker Face, she was heralded as the new Madonna. Madonna being the pop star of all pop stars. In fact, Lady Gaga herself had once written on her website, "It doesn't make you cool to hate pop culture." This is the person Halsey's decided to use as a role model for counterculture. Lady Gaga wore raw meat because it gets attention. It makes her even more popular. And because she likes to do crazy shit. She embraces the idea of being a pop star, while still saying it can be art. Her 2013 album was called Art Pop. But there's 2 types of pop. There's pop, popular music, and there's pop, the genre that is most easily defined as a person or a group of people singing to a backing track. You want to talk about male pop stars? Ed Sheeran is pop. Justin Bieber is pop. Shawn Mendes, all the One Direction guys. If you want to make it an urban thing, she means black, by the way. I would say Bruno Mars's 24 Karat Magic and That's What I Like are totally pop songs. Someone will claim it's R&B or even funk, but they're pop songs. Kendrick Lamar is rap. He raps. But his music is now pop music in that it's successful, it's popular. And I can guarantee you, there are people who think his stuff before To Pimp a Butterfly is his best work. And people claim that he's sold out now. As the kids would say, Hundo P, that's happened. But Halsey doesn't think her music is pop? It's absolutely pop! It's a solo artist singing to electronically produced music or instruments played by session musicians, with a formulaic structure and a chorus or hook that's easy to remember so you can sing along to it. New Americana is verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, bridge, chorus, done. Her latest song, Now or Never, is verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, bridge, chorus, done. Picked a non-single off her new album. It's a song featuring Quavo, a rapper who's featured on like 3 fucking Billboard Hot 100 songs. Guess what? Verse, pre-chorus, chorus, feature verse, pre-chorus, chorus, done. It's pop music 101. She contributed to the fucking 50 Shades Darker soundtrack along with Taylor Swift and Zayn, 2 more pop stars. And so what if you're a pop star? You say, if you're a female alternative artist and you do anything that's even slightly pop-leaning, it's condemning. You're the one condemning it, insinuating that being a pop artist is worse than being an alternative artist. She later tweeted, not saying anything bad about pop music, the convo was about how pop features shouldn't consume an artist whose solo ventures are another genre. Your solo ventures aren't another genre, though. This would be like Nickelback saying, it's bullshit that we aren't considered metal. Because they aren't. They're a rock band. No, what this comes down to is a person basically complaining about being famous and losing hipster cred. Can there be any dumber fucking thing? Oh, I'm so annoyed that I created something that a massive number of people like. It's so annoying to me to earn a whole bunch of money and have the adoration of a bunch of drooling fucknuts instead of the adoration of 12 guys who only drink small batch craft beer from gastropubs that list the IBUs on the menu and think Pitchfork is too mainstream. How inconvenient for me to have reached a level of success with my artistic endeavor. Yeah, it's gotta be fucking hard not being poor anymore and no longer having the respect of a bunch of elitist hipster cunts. And instead, you have money and a massive audience who wants to enjoy your work. But you had full control over this. If you wanted to be alternative, if you didn't want to be popular, you wanted to keep your so-called counterculture credibility, you wouldn't have worked with the Chainsmokers. You wouldn't have went on Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon. You wouldn't have signed with a record label. And you wouldn't make formulaic pop songs. You can't have your cake or artisanal handmade rhubarb pie and eat it too. If you think your old fans wouldn't like you because your new fans only know who the Libertines are because Selena Gomez said their name in a song recently, then you probably needed new fans anyway. Your old ones were fucking shitty judgmental fucks. And this is coming from the ultimate shitty judgmental fuck. You're not an alternative artist. And it's not because you're a woman, it's not because you're not urban, it's because you're a popular singer who sings pop songs. But don't worry, it won't last. You'll be unpopular again in no time, and you can be the first fucking person in the history of the world to go, this is much better. When you go from selling out arenas to doing county fairs for $50 while people complain that your music is so loud that they can't hear the pig judging contest happening 3/10 over.